First of all, I can tell you that this young man is a lovely young man.
Thank you.
Who clearly loves both his parents, and his problem with his stepmother, my judgment, emanates from the fact that he would have preferred that his parents stay together rather than be separated, and the fact that his father has married suggests to him that that is not going to happen, that his parents are not going to be together. And I think that there was some hope that he had, that you might be together. I find that from my discussions with your son, he clearly remembers the spankings, as he put it, that he endured when he lived with you, as well as his siblings. This was clearly not a one-shot deal. He clearly remembers that his father never put his hands on him when you were living together. He told me that on 2 occasions you slapped him because your son was making fun of somebody who was mentally challenged, an uncle or something.
I probably slapped my son.
Well, he says it was him, but clearly there was absolutely no indication, even from the child, that there was any abuse or neglect in your home. Absolutely none. No more than there was abuse and neglect by you against your children when you hit them, which some people believe is wholly inappropriate. So there was absolutely no basis for you to make this report that your children were being abused or neglected by their stepmother, and I make that as a finding of fact. Absolutely none. And it was done for the purpose of securing your 2 children into your custody from their father, because, as you said to me, I didn't have the money to go for custody. That's why I called the police and filed the restraining order. That's not what a restraining order is for.
That's not why I did it.
That's exactly what you told me, Miss Osborne.
That is not how I meant it, ma'am.
Well, that may not be how you meant it. That's what you did, and that's what you told me. So there was an investigation. Clearly, the investigation demonstrated there's absolutely nothing untoward going on in that house, and the case was closed. And since you tell me at this point that you are now back on your feet and you're working and everything is fine and you have a place for your children, if you felt as if your children were at risk with their father, you are in a position where you could proceed for full custody of the children. You have chosen not to do that. And I can see why, because they've been given a stable home with their father, and there is absolutely no reason to disrupt that. It's very nice that you can get along together to the extent that you can share the children's time and that they can be with both of you. But don't let it get out of hand, Miss Osborne. I'm telling you now. I mean, I can ask you a lot of questions that would tend to be embarrassing, not the least of which is, how much support did you give to the children when they were in their father's sole custody?
They were not in their father's sole custody.
They were in their father's sole custody, madam. I've spoken to your son. How much support did you give him when he was taking care of the children? The answer would probably be 0.
If my children needed something, I went and got it.
I don't accept that answer from a father, and I don't accept that answer from a mother. I don't accept it from you, and I wouldn't accept it from him if the children were with you. If he said to me, whenever my children needed, I gave them sneakers, I took them shopping, I wouldn't accept that from him. I don't accept that from you. You have children, you have to support them. Whether they're with him for 6 months or 3 months or a year, your responsibility when he was taking care of and feeding and housing and clothing the children was to work and send him money for your children. That was your job. You didn't do it. You want to tell me about your counterclaim so that I can finish this case very quickly?
Yes, ma'am. Me and my ex did come to a conclusion about the children, but every time we tried to...
I want to hear your counterclaim, madam. This is not a therapy session.
Okay,
you say that she assaulted you. That's your counterclaim.
Yes, it's assault and harassment.
Are you talking about the assault when you say she pushed you? Is that the assault?
Yes, ma'am. And the fight at my sister's house, yes.
Your counterclaim is dismissed. On your claim, I am awarding you $2,500. I'm awarding you $2,500 because I believe that Miss Osborne abused the system by filing a temporary restraining order when her motive was to have the children come and live with her. That's what she said. There was no basis for her to file for a restraining order. According to William, at least, there was really no abuse going on in that house. There's nothing actionable, and she filed it for the sole purpose of getting a leg up in a custody proceeding. So I'm granting your application, $2,500 to the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please excuse me, step out. Wait here, ma'am.
I'm glad that a third party that doesn't know any of us was able to tell her the things that she needs to hear about her behavior.
I hope she'll grow up and act like an adult.
I think she's purely jealous. She's jealous of the fact that my husband has moved on with his life and you know, without her.
She's jealous and envious.
I don't think Amy and I will ever have a smoothed over relationship. Hopefully we can just coexist.
She's hated her since before she met her just because she existed and she was with me.
Judge Judy rocks.